So now we have our virtual box set up. What we're going to be looking at now is the directory structure, and we're also going to be sorting out our composer file. So we're going to create two folders here, app and public. The public directory is where we're going to point our Apache document root, and we're going to change that in just a moment. Now the reason behind that is so people can access our app code and our vendor code and things like that, because obviously they will be stored outside of the root. So now we're going to create our composer file, composer.json, and in here we're going to configure our auto loading and pull in our dependencies. So at the moment we have nothing to auto load, so let's just require dev php unit, and we'll pull in version 4.1 point star, and then we'll just run composer update. And actually I don't think, no, we didn't install composer, so let's do that now. So over in our browser, let's go to getcomposer.org. we'll hit getting started globally. Whoops, we want to install globally, so all we're going to do is copy this, paste it in. Then we're going to copy this one. We'll let that do its thing. And then we're going to sudo, and then we're going to paste in that command. So now let's try to run composer, and perfect. So yep, we're in the right directory, so let's run composer install. Okay, so that installed PHP unit for me. The next thing that we have to do is set up the directory in which we're going to place our framework. So I'm going to create a new folder inside the vendor folder, and what this is going to be called, it will obviously be custom to you, but it's going to be your name. Now I use my alias, which is Mr. Terry H, so I'm just going to create that, and then we're going to create a new folder inside there called framework. And you could probably come up with a more creative name than that, but this will do for now. Now inside here we need a composer.json, and all we're going to do in here is say autoload psr4. Then we're going to put in our namespace name, which will be framework, or whatever you call this folder, and then we're just going to provide the path to that folder, like so. So now let's just cd into vendor Mr. Terry H framework, and we'll just run composer install. Great, so now we have this vendor directory, and we have our autoload file, which we will pull in eventually. So the next thing that we need to do is make this public folder our document root. Now before we do that, let's just create a quick file and call it index.php. And all we'll do now is say hello world. So back in our VM, I'm just going to go back to the root directory, and I'm going to sudo nano etc apache 2 sites enabled and 000-default.conf, and we're just going to change this to vagrant public, and we'll also change that as well. So let's write that out, and we'll say sudo service apache 2 restart, so our changes take effect, and then we'll hit refresh, and we get our hello world that we just created here. So now that that's complete, we're ready to start moving on with our code.